Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to Module 1 to the course of academic reading. That is a digital, one of the programs of the digital technology collaborations between Universitas Bina Bangsa Getsempena and also the students from Universitas Cendrawasih. Today we are in Module 1. We are going to talk about introductions to academic reading. How do we understand academic reading as a whole? What is actually academic reading? What makes it different from other reading? And so on and so forth. Alright. So before moving on to the introductions, first I want everyone to understand that there is a pre-activity that everyone need to do before stepping on to the next course. If you play this video, then pause it and then do this pre-activity. You may access it through Pada that we have sent you guys in designated Pada WBG. Then you just need to fill your answers in the link that I have listed here, which is https://s.id learning expectations. So the question to the pre-activity is, what do you expect to learn from this module, right? So if you currently watching these videos, then pause it and then fill the answer and then go back to this video after finishing filling all your answer to the form. All right. After putting all your expectations, this is actually the backgrounds that become the main reasons on why we need to study, why it is important for us to study the academic reading. First, when you get to university, you will find that you need to get through a lot of reading, right? You read a lot of things, right? Either from your reading list, such as novel and anything you like, or for wider reading in preparation for an assignment, for example, it can be journals, articles, chapters in edited books, or chapters in textbook. And many of these academic texts will seem quite difficult, right? Because we use some sort of high what do we call it, high vocabulary, and also harder to understand, right? So don't despair, because you may not have read every article on your reading list. If you learn how to preview your readings first, so this is important for every readers in academic reading to start previewing your reading. You can select this reading or sections of a reading that are most relevant to your need. These are a range of strategies that you can use to make the task less overwhelming, meaning that you don't need to read the whole pages, right? The whole word, the whole sentence, the whole paragraphs within one chapter. So you need to find it what is actually interested to you, what is actually relevant to the work that you are currently working, and then what is actually the information that you are looking for. So just focus to that kind of information in order to make your reading even better. So that is one of the strategies in academic reading, those that we are going to discuss later on further. So this is actually the first thing that we need to understand. Okay. What is actually academic reading? The problem with academic reading right now is that we need to understand the difference between the academic reading and the other ordinary reading, right? And the other normal reading, right? Because the understanding of academic reading can lead you into a better understanding of the whole concept later on why we are discussing the academic reading, on why we are learning academic reading, right? First, academic reading is an active process that goes beyond merely reading and highlighting your text. So it's not only about reading, it's not only about perceiving knowledge, but it's an active process. You need to interact with the text by taking notes, making connection between the text and what you already know, or have experience in asking critical questions about the matter that we are reading. If you are reading to a novel, which is kindly entertainment, it's not quite become an academic reading though, right? So the things that you need to do is actually getting the information from the text and then take it as your information, take it as an information that you need to perceive, right? So if you read the story of Malingkundang, for example, then you need to understand the story of the Malingkundang which is written in the book. That is what reading. But it is different with academic reading, because academic reading is not for entertainment purposes, meaning that you need to be critical in questioning all the informations inside of the books or inside of the text that you read. So academic reading is a reading activity that aims for academic purposes in terms of types of text and a way of how you read or interact that you establish in the text. So simply it can be understood like a very simple analogy. If you read a text which is not academic, so the main purpose is to understand the content, to understand what is written on. But if it is an academic reading, it's not only about perceiving information, but it's also about digging more, making connections to the real life that we have understood, to making connection to the prior knowledge that we have, making critical question toward the material, whether it's correct, whether it's truthful, whether there is logical fallacies inside of the text. That is what we are going to do in academic reading. So basically that is the difference, right? Okay, so this is the example of academic reading, right? iPhone is the best quality smartphone so far. It has been proven since the increase of the market sale of the newest iPhone 14 Pro Max in the world compared to other smartphones in the market. A survey shows that customer satisfaction on previous iPhone 13 is also the highest compared to other brands in the market. So if we take it as ordinary reading, then yes, understanding the text is enough, right? We need to understand that iPhone is the best quality smartphone so far, and there is a survey that also shows that the customer satisfaction on the previous iPhone 13 is also the highest compared to other brands in the market. Then our job as a reader is done. But if it is an academic reading, so it's not enough, because we are keep questioning the truthful of the information. For example, iPhone is the best quality smartphone so far. It is still an assumption. It is still what we call it, like a personal judgment, or even it's a subjective judgment toward the other phones, for example. So we need to dig more on the what we call it, on the informations on what make this iPhone is the best quality smartphone compared to others. It says before that it says after that it has been proven, there's a proof, since the increase of the market sale of the newest iPhone 15 Pro Max in the world compared to other smartphones in the market. So there is a comparative analysis between the selling point of this iPhone 14 Pro compared to the other market, to the other smartphone in the market, which is actually a valid reasons on why iPhone is the best quality smartphone so far, right? Now, second, a survey shows that the customer satisfaction on the previous iPhone 13 is also the highest compared to other brands in the market. It's also one of the things that is still, we call it subjective claim, that we need to understand more on what is actually the reasons behind this decision, right? So that is actually the way of how you do the academic reading. You are questioning the informations. You become an active. You are not a passive that get informations, but you are an active that dig more information, relate to your current life, relate to the prior knowledge, and etc. Okay. And then by the end of this guide, you will be able to actually understand the better and long, complex specialized texts that are likely to encounter in your academic studies, recognize the text genre and structures, and also employ a range of reading strategies and aid also to the comprehensions of the text, independent monitoring your reading progress, evaluate the quality of ideas in the text, and moreover, it also can be one of the way to develop your knowledge of in English to support your understanding of language in text, and also apply a range of strategies to read more effectively, making the best use of your limited time. Right. Next, so what is actually academic reading strategies? So the academic reading strategies can be compared like this. In the first sentence, Shanun has to make dinner. He goes to the store and walks through every aisles. He decided to make a spaghetti. So he revisits aisles and reads many packages thoroughly before deciding which groceries to buy. Once he arrives home, he finds a recipe for spaghetti but needs to go back to the store for ingredient he forgot. Then here in the second paragraph, Tyler also has to make dinner. He wants a lot of carbohydrates because he's running a marathon soon, so he decided to make spaghetti. After checking some recipe, he makes a list of ingredients. At the grocery store, he skims aisle to find his ingredient and choose products that meet his diet. So it is one of the strategy in reading because you need to understand what you're looking for before starting digging the informations. You need to understand what is the concept that you are currently trying to convince or try to find out before just merely read the informations without having an expectations uh, within your mind on what actually you are looking for. So the case of Shannon shows you that if you don't have enough preparations, meaning that you are not doing a reading strategy, an academic reading strategy basically, because you are just wasting your time. While Tyler do it with a very what we call it, a very minimum time wasted because he has what we call it like a good preparations, right? Okay. Then this is actually the title process was more efficient because his purpose was clear, right? Establishing why you are reading something will help you to decide how to read it, which saves time and improve comprehensions actually. This guide lists some purposes for reading as well as different strategies to try at a different stage of reading process. And so the purpose of the reading is that people read different kind of text, right? Like scholarly article, textbook reviews for different reasons. Some purposes for reading might be like to scan specific information, to skim and to get overview of the text, to relate new content, to the access and knowledge, to rewrite something or to write something. It's often depend on the prompts actually. To critique an argument, to learn something for general and also for general comprehension. This is different purposes that are aimed by each individual who actually do an academic reading will decide on how they are using a best strategies, right? Either it's actually relevant to their strategies, or they need to adapt, they need to improvise, for example. So it's pretty much related and relevant to the purpose of the reading of each individual. So this is actually the reading, right? This the reading strategy. So in before reading strategies, you can use in establishing your purpose first, understanding what is actually the things that you are looking for, and then speculate about how are the other purposes for writing. Like you need to have a portrait on what is actually the reader speculate about, right? The purpose of the reader or the authors. And then also using the QWL strategies, which will be elaborated further later on in the next meeting, and then a critical reading questionnaire, right? We have a critical reading questionnaire in SPADA BBG. You can also access that. You have KWL also, that later I will explain it further. In critical reading questionnaire also there is a survey that you can list, right? If you are still wondering whether I don't have such a strategies in this step of the pace like before reading, and then go on to this you know to the process, or to the script that I have attached in the SPADA BDG. And then during reading, you can annotate and mark, check your prediction, whether it's already been answered or not, use headings and transition, create a vocabulary list, try to invert unfamiliar word, and also connect text to do what you already know, take a break, sample annotate text, and also having a big understanding on the idea whether your purposes have already been achieved or not, so you know where to stop and you know when to stop, right? And then after reading, you can use like summarizing the text and then talk to someone about the author's idea in order to make it more valid to understand, and then identify and reread difficult part of the text, and then define words on your vocabulary list, and also sample graphic organizer to actually making it easier to reread the content of the reading list that you have done. Okay, now it's time for practice, right? It's teamwork. Your team has been listed in SPADA, and perform pre-reading activity, perform during reading activity, and also perform after reading activity. The title is How Was the Technology Changed? You can access the text through the link that I have listed here, https://sid activity module 1, and then do the task, right? If you have any question, then feel free to contact. You can pause these videos first and then go on to your task, to your activities in module 1, and then perform a pre-activity during reading activity and after reading activity. If you're done with it, then go on back to the videos. All right, this is actually the references that we are going to use within the semester. You can read it further, and almost all the informations are related to this one of the references. For the other references, you may also check for the RPS that I already attached in the meeting in spada.bbg.ac.id. Well, I think that is all for today's class. If you have any question, you are welcome to address it in the comment section or in the discussion panel that I've already attached in spada.bbg.ac.id. We would like to discuss it further over there, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask a question. If you have a perspective on the topic that we discussed today, you can also share right there. We're going to have a further discussions and mobilize all the need of your understanding later on. Okay, I think that is all, and thank you for all the students. Don't forget to do the assignment and also upload things that need to be uploaded in Spada. I think that is all. See you everyone, and have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.